law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
All I need is one mic.
With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. I do not consider myself a fan of Sean Puffy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Diddy Love, Brother Love Combs. But one doesn't have to be a fan to acknowledge a simple truth about his recent jury trial. I think the primary reason he was acquitted of those sex trafficking and RICO charges is because he was overcharged in the first place. Mine is not to opine on his guilt or innocence on any of the charges the feds brought against him. But I predicted months ago that he would beat the most serious charges because, as usual, prosecutors have a really bad habit of overcharging black men. Dave Chappelle said it best, Puffy is in a RICO case all by himself, man. Hilarious and arresting at the same time. When prosecutors put a target on the backs of black men, they throw everything at them just to see what sticks. And too often, just like in the Puffy case at the very end, they move to dismiss some of the charges and then double down on the ones they think they can win. It's racist and it's wrong, and somebody ought to say so. I think I just did. Not for the benefit of Puffy, but on behalf of all the other black men who have been and sadly will be woefully overcharged in the future. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. As always, we welcome your feedback.
Coverage varies by plan. View contract and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
Do you own a 2005 or newer vehicle with a manufacturer's warranty about to expire or no warranty coverage at all? With the cost of living on the rise, Endurance is now offering a low-cost vehicle coverage plan designed to save you thousands off costly vehicle repairs. Get your vehicle protected under this coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. Roadside service, towing, and rental coverage are included. For your free quote, call 800-689-5978. 800-689-5978.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Dr. Cheryl Grills is my guest, and she's really a world-renowned psychologist, activist, and thinker. And you've very much centered your, I'll say worldview, in the African, sort of Pan-African experience. Mm-hmm. In your work as a psychologist, as a professor, why is that important to you? Why is it important to center from an African worldview?
There's so many reasons. I'll start with a quote from Kwame Nkrumah, who said, I am not African because I was born in Africa, but because Africa was born in me. A connection to a space and a place, Dr. John Henry Clarke argued, is absolutely essential to having a grounded identity and sense of who you are in the world, what your place in the world is, and what the lessons learned from prior generations can afford you as you move forward in the current generation. So being able to understand that we are part of a global family, a Pan-African family, a diaspora, dispersed not by our own choice, but by force because of the forced trafficking of people of African ancestry, that transatlantic trafficking process, that just by luck of which boat we were put on, someone ended up in Haiti, someone else in Jamaica, someone else in Cuba, someone else, like in my family's case, in South Carolina. And
mine too, by the way.
Okay.
We might be distant relatives.
We might be. Let's check that out later. And so, knowing that is part of who we are, knowing that the ability that other people take for granted to be able to connect to their origins and to know their origin story, having that denied us has an impact on the integrity of who we are and how we understand our place in the world. So being able to connect to Africa in a conceptual or theoretical way, but then through the benefits of DNA testing, to the extent that gives us reliable information, it tells us what our roots are. It shows us what our cultural heritage may in fact be. It helps us to connect dots that we knew there was a something there, but we didn't know quite what. So I'll give you a concrete example. I grew up I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. My dad's from Charleston, my mom's from Manning, and all generations that I can go back into the 1800s, we never left until my parents.
Still on the road in West Africa, still bringing you along. Actually, I've posted a lot of stuff on social media, but I haven't even scratched the surface of all of the different things we have done. I got to post the museum that we went to in Nigeria. The timing of that with the return of these artifacts to Nigeria from the Netherlands was just stunning, because we got a chance to see the types of artifacts we're talking about, and they are beautiful. Haven't had a chance yet to post the city on stilts. Haven't had a chance. I'm trying to keep up, but there's a lot still to see. So I hope you'll tap in on KBLA 1580. That's where we are on all social media. We're streaming on YouTube at KBLA 1580. You can find me at DiPrima Radio, DIPRIMA, and then radio. We're on the road. Sorry, you can hear the traffic sounds. I don't know what to do about it. I don't have an isolated radio booth out here. Miles is here, Miles Low Music. You can find him there. And we've passed through on the road, looking out the window of our luxury liner bus. We've seen the most humble huts and terrible pollution. It gives me a new respect for what Kenya has done in banning plastic coming into their country and being so strict about litter and preserving their environment. And we've seen middle-class neighborhoods.
Yep.
We've also seen some actual palaces and some more large-size homes. So it gives you a sense of the stratification here as well, just like what we have in the United States.
Right. It's a lot of parts of it are development we have seen, from the roads that we've had to travel, literally dirt roads we've had to travel. Kind of like you said, when we were in Kenya last year, the countryside, that road, we had Rocky Mountain Road we had to go to get from Nairobi, passing the Rook all the way to Masamara. So, yeah, we've seen a totality, the total view, the scope of what the West Africa has to offer, I think. In 48 hours, 72 hours, something like that. You know what I mean? We've been seeing a couple countries the last couple hours. So,
We get around. Look, tomorrow is the 4th of July, Miles,
yes.
Independence Day. And I've had this thing in my mind about, this will be my first time celebrating the 4th of July. And I say celebrating with a grain of salt because I love my country a lot, right? I do. I really do. I consider myself a patriot. But we're not there yet. We have to do the work as progressives to get to the promises we made, the promises that our Constitution made. And here we are in an era, in a moment, I think it's the darkness before the dawn, where we have a president and his cabal of Project 2025 enforcers who are trying to tear down that Constitution and undermine what America stands for, even though we haven't gotten there to the ideal that we presented to the world. So I was wondering how I was going to feel celebrating 4th of July in Africa. Of course, I think of Frederick Douglass, what to the slave is the 4th of July. And I have a lot of mixed feelings. We just came from the literal grounds of our enslavement. Now we're in a hip spot with cafes, vegan restaurants, and outdoor day drinking and all kind of party stuff going on. I'm not sure. How are you feeling on the eve of the 4th of July, there'll be no fireworks.
Right.
It'll be just another day in Africa.
I mean, look, I believe in, these quantum lives that we're living right now, these quantum times. Like, we literally went from, what's going on, you guys? We literally went from celebrating Juneteenth right before we left to tapping right into the motherland to, like you said, going from the slave rivers, the slave dungeons, to now we are here about to have a very nice, what I would consider looks like, we haven't been in there yet, looks like trap brunch a little bit, you know what I'm saying, with the people. So, and then going straight into 4th of July where we, should be doing some more festive activities as well, hopefully having a little bit of a free day, some free time to actually enjoy ourselves. So I feel great, you know what I mean? Like I said, I've been charged up, energized. I'm just enjoying the feeling of all the timelines that we're literally traveling through and getting to, put our imagination and our spirit into.
I feel like there's poetry in spending the 4th of July in the land of our ancestors. There's poetry. I just haven't gotten quite to the heart of that poetry yet. Wherever you are and whoever you are, our KBLA delegation, our beloved KBLA delegation, which includes so many different kinds of people, I hope you have a wonderful 4th of July. I hope you're celebrating freedom, whether it's your own personal freedom and autonomy, or whether it's your freedom, the freedoms that we still enjoy in the land of the free.
Right, home of the brave, all that.
Home of the freedmen.
Home of them, yeah.
Land of the brave, that would be us. Or whether you're celebrating the freedom that we're fighting for still, the protection of our Constitution, our commitment to manifesting all that our democracy could and should be.
Right.
I love my country for what she is, but even more than that, what she could be. And in the spirit of Frederick Douglass and Kwame Nkrumah, as we stand on African soil, I wish you the happiest and most blessed Independence Day, 4th of July, Juneteenth, whatever it is you're celebrating on this day. But certainly I celebrate my country from across the sea. I'm Dominique DiPrima. That's Miles Lowe. And this is KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. President Trump says he'll consider prosecuting former Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, accusing him of enabling illegal immigration.
Was he given a pardon, Mayorkas? Was he not?
I don't believe so.
Well, I'd take a look at that.
Trump made the comments while touring Florida's new detention center. Black Maryland Governor Wes Moore slammed the Senate's passage of President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill, calling it heartless. He warns it could strip health coverage from 200,000 Marylanders and gut rural housing funding. House Republicans are still working on a final vote for the massive bill, which is expected to happen soon. And reactions continue to pour in after Sean Diddy Combs was found guilty of transporting women for prostitution. Cassie Ventura's lawyer, Doug Wigdor, praised her courage, while Aubrey O'Day, formerly of Danity Kane, said the verdict made her nauseous. 50 Cent reacted bluntly, saying, Diddy beat the feds. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Rapid radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
There were two special moments at Dodger Stadium last night when the Dodgers played the Chicago White Sox. Freddie Freeman delivered a game-winning single in the bottom of the ninth inning to cap a 3-run rally and give the Dodgers a 5-4 win. In the sixth inning, Dodgers pitcher Clayton Kershaw struck out White Sox third baseman Vinny Capra to reach 3,000 strikeouts. All 3,000 came during Kershaw's 18-year career with the Dodgers. Kershaw became the 20th Major League pitcher to add the legendary milestone to his Hall of Fame resume. Kershaw will be a first ballot Hall of Famer 5 years after he retires. The Lakers may have gotten the center they've been looking for. They signed free agent DeAndre Ayton to a 2-year contract. Ayton, the number one pick in the 2018 NBA draft, averaged 14.4 points and 10.2 rebounds last season with Portland. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, aka the Voice of Reason, encouraging you to join me weekdays from 7 to 9 p.m. for the world's most intriguing relationship radio roundtable. Every night, I facilitate and encourage our loyal listeners to participate in the most engaging relationship discussions you'll hear anywhere. So make it a point to rendezvous with me, Zoe Williams, the Voice of Reason, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Trust me, your relationships will never be the same. The VOR is on fire tonight.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Catch Prep is now enrolling for summer credit recovery in fall 2025. As South Los Angeles' top-performing high school in English, math, and college access, Catch Prep is welcoming all 9th through 12th graders to enroll now. Catch Prep offers a small, supportive, and safe learning environment to help all students succeed, so that all students feel valued, respected, and motivated to reach their full potential. For the past 20 years, Catch Prep has helped more students of color gain admission to top-tier universities, with our graduating seniors earning a total of $3 million in scholarships, more than any other school in Los Angeles. We are dedicated to helping all students turn your college dreams into reality. Catch Prep is now enrolling. Visit us online at catchhighschool.com or call 323-293-3917. Space is limited. Please enroll now for summer credit recovery and fall 2025. Call 323-293-3917 or enroll today at catchhighschool.com.
The following is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways with the purpose of soliciting sales of vacation ownership. For complete details, please visit fvgradio.com. If you want a 100% complimentary stay at a luxury resort in Cancun, airfare not included, then Family Vacation Getaways is your ticket to paradise. See website for complete details. We're giving away 5 days and 4 nights to the first 50 callers who can name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. An animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. Do you know it? Call now, 800-868-6431, 800-868-6431. You're also eligible for an exciting bonus vacation to Orlando, Florida for just $498. And don't worry about anything ruining your plans. We can extend your travel up to 18 months. Name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird, and get a complimentary Cancun resort stay and an optional bonus vacation to Orlando for just $498. What are you waiting for? Call 800-868-6431, 800-868-6431, and give us your answer. The proceeding is not a contest and is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways and not sponsored by this program or its affiliates.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do more than just talk.
You got a big mouth.
Hello, Joe, you're up. Welcome. We're unapologetically progressive, and we don't black down.
I'm here with Jessica Sarowitz, who's been traveling with us. Hi, how you doing?
I am doing fantastic, Dominique. I am so filled with a sense of passion, a sense of coming home. I needed to be here. I needed to do this. I needed to honor the ancestors. And for me, it's really special because as part of African Focus, I was adopted into an Igbo family by Emily and Uchenna. And so I needed to be here. I wanted to see the relatives. I wanted to honor the family. And it's been so glorious for me.
And you've been all in, all the way, sleeves rolled up, getting stuff done. But also we've been having some fun. It's been a very varied trip. Talk to me about how the Cape Coast castle / dungeon, how did that hit you? How are you processing that?
That was really heavy. It was heavy because I know that, too many of our ancestors were taken, abused. They were taken in chains, especially the castle where there was the gate of no return, entering that gate of no return, and that longing. Why am I here? What is happening to me? Why are these people torturing me? Why are they treating me in this terrible, terrible place? Especially the castle that had the dungeons, like 500 people in one room, a very, very small space. I don't even know if people can even imagine the terror, the type of suffering that took place. And it was all in the dark.
Yeah.
It was in the dark. Can you imagine being in the dark for months and not knowing what is happening to you? I can't even think about that. And then we saw, that was in the men's side, and then we saw the dungeon for the women, and there were less women in the dungeon. It was a smaller space, but still, I mean, as women, as a woman, I know that there are, bodily fluids that happen to women that don't happen to men. So the kind of infection that can happen there for us, the kind of suffering, the pains of menstruation, and not having proper, proper way of cleansing yourself, a proper way of taking care of yourself, or having your mom, your aunties, your women surrounding you to take you through that time. It was horrible.
And as an Afro-Latina, why do you think that's important? Because I feel like sometimes when we talk about Afro-Latinos, we forget your ancestors went through the same gates.
Yeah. No, I mean, we went through the same gates, and a lot of them were taken to Brazil, taken to South America. They were taken to the Caribbean. They were taken to Central America to work the plantations, to work the farms, to really be slave labor, absolutely be slave labor, but in an inhumane way. And but you know what? We're here today. The descendants of those people are here today, and you know what? God is good. There's justice in the world. It may not come when we want it to come, but eventually it comes, because the people of today are flourishing. We are thriving.
That's right.
We are not gone. Nope. We have not been diminished. Nope. No, we are artists. We are
builders,
politicians.
like you.
We are builders. We are business owners. We are educators. So, and the music, the culture, we have affected the new world.
Yeah.
It will not be the new world without us.
That's right.
And so, when you enter into the castle these days, we don't enter in chains. We enter as proud people.
Yeah, and people not only
that
do,
are proud,
I always say this,
dignity.
Jessica, we not only did we survive, we thrived, we
Yes.
came back, and we're giving back. We're helping the people here.
Exactly.
And thank you for being part of that. I mean, we do service. So I always feel like that's the inspiration part. Our ancestors thought we would perish, but here we are helping the land of our ancestors and not coming back in chains, right?
Right. We're not coming back in chains. We're not coming back in shame. We're coming back as people who are givers, not extractors, not like what was done to us, but people who understand the land, who understand, that we want to raise strong sons and daughters of Africa, no matter where they live in the world, because we are diaspora too. And so, we love this interaction between us. And maybe we don't always get each other,
right?
And that's okay.
That's okay.
Because, we're supposed to learn from each other.
Yeah,
we're supposed to learn. And we're supposed to love each other. Love and compassion always.
Yes, I love that so much. If you had one treasured takeaway, a moment of thought, an observation from this trip, we've been 3 countries, we're on the road.
Mm-hmm.
What would you share?
Oh my God. Can you please visit the schools? If you ever come to Africa, visit the children. We need strong sons and daughters of Africa, because no matter where we are in the world, this is our homeland. And we want these children to be educated. Go to the schools, bring, just a pencil, but bring your smile, bring your joy, tell them you love them. That's what I say. That was the best for me, to visit the schools.
You're not going to make me cry this morning, Jessica Sarowitz. You're not going to make me cry.
Oh my
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dominique. God bless you. Bye.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
When you're hiring, Have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 is committed to self-care and community well-being. Walk Good LA was formed in June 2020, inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement and the beginning stages of the COVID-19 pandemic. What began as a few minutes of breath work and yoga meditation before protests against police brutality turned into a safe space for the community to heal in hard times. The immensely positive response from the community transformed the momentum into a movement. Today, Walk Good LA is a black and brown-led community wellness organization based in Los Angeles. They provide spaces for healing through community yoga classes, guided meditations, hikes, run clubs, and other activations throughout Los Angeles that attract hundreds of members weekly. With the help of Propel and Michael B. Jordan, they now have a yoga and wellness studio in Los Angeles called the Walk Good Yard. To join their mailing list and connect with healing spaces, please visit walkgoodla.org. That's walkgoodla.org. Or find them on Instagram at walkgoodla. This is a community call to action, a community call to healing from KBLA Talk 1580.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
KBLA Talk 1580. It's Dominique DiPrima here with Miles Lowe, and we are still in West Africa, still bringing the motherland to you and you to the motherland, whether it's actually literally or whether it's virtually.
Can I give a shout out real quick, Dominique?
Of course.
I want to give a huge personal shout out to my dog Odell, who's at the booth in the studio holding it down for us in a major way, because it's not easy producing it on the fly from Africa. It's not easy getting it to Los Angeles on a timely manner. I also appreciate Odell for holding it down these last couple weeks and being malleable, being adjustable, learning on the fly, taking on the responsibility for us while we're gone. And from what everybody's been texting me and telling me, it's really been sounding good. So shout out to the Odell, man. It's teamwork make the dream work around here, and it's not easy doing it cross-continental. So shout out to the black man back home.
I mean, I know plenty of folks who have come to Africa, tried to do a show and failed. So yeah, I give a shout out to Odell as well. And of course, if we don't have someone that can hold it down in the studio, then Miles, you'd have to be there. So I'm so happy to have you here. Shout out to Miles Lowe. Speaking of producing on the fly, making adjustments, getting creative, and finding ways to make the show happen. So thank you, Miles. And of course, a lot of love going out to Mr. Tavis Smiley, because, well, it's his radio station, and it's his support of my vision, the vision of me and Uchenna and Nworgu and his wife Emily and the African Focus team, merging our two ventures to create this opportunity for so many folks. So big shout out to Tavis Smiley. Thanks for making this happen. Tavis has been to Africa many times, so he knows how enriching it is and how much there is to learn and know here. So shout out to him as well. We have been doing the most. We got into Lagos on Monday, and we checked into a hotel there and toured the Kwame Nkrumah Square, the Black Star, Kwame Nkrumah Memorial at the Black Star Square city tour, and got our eyes on this big bustling metropolis. That was stop number one.
Yep.
Feel free to jump in if you want to say something about any of these spots. Then we went to the museum in Lagos, which is a treasure trove going all the way back to the 1400s and all the way up to now with artworks.
And that was it was beautiful to see. And that point was the two queens looking at each other from across the courtyard. That was amazing to see.
African queen versus the English queen.
And also show the difference between how currency had changed over time throughout the history of I guess really mankind. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't really just a history of Lego. That was a history of how it was crossed throughout the whole continent. So from cowrie shells to bones to a whole bunch of stuff. So that was really informative to see all that.
Yeah, and we saw, in kind of a theme of this trip, we saw some spiritual history as well, with the early artifacts from worship of different natures, which we then saw manifest in real life today when we went to the Vodon temple and when we visited the Alake of Abeokuta, the king there, who also had really a lot of tradition on display as far as their attire, the way that they prostrate before the king. Many of these were the living embodiments of things we saw in that museum, the artifacts we saw in that museum. So a history of money, a history of religion, and definitely a tour of art throughout the ages was our second stop along the way. So we are still on this tour. We got more to go and more to see, but bringing you back some memories and a little bit of a recap, so that when you go hop in on social media at KBLA 1580, Miles Low Music, or DiPrima Radio, you know what you're looking at. Thanks for coming with us to West Africa on KBLA Talk 1580. It's been an incredible almost 2 weeks in West Africa, in Benin, in Nigeria, in Ghana, and I'm so glad you could come with us. Just wrapping up and recapping so you can tap in on socials and understand what we've posted. We left the museum, we went to a school, we donated, we did service, we created a water well and donated uniforms and then a water tank. After that, we visited the king in Abeokuta, way out in the country. And he gave us a lot of love.
He did, man. He did. He welcomed us with open arms, and shout out to his team. His team was real official, real welcoming and warm and polite to us as a whole. So yeah. Shout out to King.
Yes, then we went to Badagry, to the slave trading port, which is now a museum. And I didn't know that there were returning enslaved people in the 1800s that made such a big mark, some from Brazil.
Yeah, and us actually making that walk, it really was humbling because, I mean, a lot of people wouldn't be able to make that walk. You know what I'm saying? It kind of showed how, it was hot, it was rough terrain, bugs were out. I mean, there was a lot to it. So, to make that walk barefoot, naked, I really connected with my ancestors on that one.
In
so
heavy chains and shackles.
Right.
After that, we went to the Republic of Benin.
Yes.
Yeah, we were able to go to an historic city there where we met with the Vodun King.
Yep.
And we're part of, you keep saying it, a real life Vodun ceremony in modern times. Actually, two, because when we were inside, they were singing praise songs for the king. And then when we went outside, they did the traditional ancestral ceremony.
And we threw the snakes on our neck. You know what I mean? I know you didn't.
Yeah,
you were scared, too.
No, I wasn't scared. It's not a necklace. It's a snake.
Okay.
I don't want to wear a snake. Anyway, that was a separate thing. That was the Python Temple. So, and that was kind of almost like a tourist attraction, I'd say. But they had a lot of real live snakes. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't like snakes, but that wasn't my reasoning for not putting it around my neck. We also visited Gambier, which is the village on stilts. And I don't want to call it a village anymore because it's a city.
The town.
A whole
metropolis almost.
City.
Yeah.
I mean, it's huge. They had a barbershop, they had a hair salon.
At a bar.
3 or 4 churches. And all of these are on stilts over the water.
Right.
So don't think of a little village. Think of a town that's probably bigger than Carson.
There we go.
Yeah, bigger
Carson
than that.
on water.
Carson on water, absolutely. We got a chance to go to Elmina, to the Cape Coast. You've heard a lot about that today. To the slave dungeons, to the slave river where our ancestors took their last bath. And those are return visits for me. But Miles, it was your first time.
Yeah, that was like I said, it was humbling. It was good information, but like I said, I was recharged. So thank you to the ancestors for blessing me with, the energy and welcoming me into their would you say holy space? Would you say final resting place? You know what I'm saying? Like just keeping the energy positive. Yeah, keeping the positive high level energy around me. Because a lot of people didn't get that same energy from them. So I appreciate that.
And in between everything should be shop. Markets and art bazaars and street swap meets.
Yep. And food everywhere. Food galore. Shout out to all the restaurants, especially the food that we ate in the city, the floating city. That was incredible to me.
Yeah, that was quite incredible.
Kine, you know what I mean? Got a little kine to take home.
Yeah. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know, baby.
And if you don't know, then find all of these shows where they live on YouTube. Like my mama used to say, history is now, and we are making it together. Don't forget, Tavis Smiley's up next, and he's got a great show on tap for you. Happy 4th of July, Independence Day. Happy birthday, America. Hope we can save our country and save ourselves. I'm Dominique DiPrima with Miles Lowe. Until next time, one love.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. President Trump says he'll consider prosecuting former Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, accusing him of enabling illegal immigration.
Was he given a pardon, Mayorkas? Was he not?
I don't believe so.
Well, I'd take a look at that.
Trump made the comments while touring Florida's new detention center. Black Maryland Governor Wes Moore slammed the Senate